If you're a regular viewer, this video is a little different from my usual talk and do the funny format. This is a double upload of my video and why I disliked OMORI. If that interests you in any way, I recommend you go and check that out. Also, some people don't like watching half an hour insane ramblings that only exist so I don't get sectioned for talking to myself, so by design, this is going to be a lot shorter. In this little escapade, I'm not just talking about the game, I'm playing the game. I'm goddamn gaming. But not just with any game. I'm playing a real man's game. Oh yeah. Insurgency Sandstorm. Insurgency Sandstorm is a team-based tactical FPS that takes the chaos and PTSD of Squad and says, what if we did that, but in one room? It's a sequel to the original Insurgency, a game I haven't played, and it's currently 2 AM on a Sunday. I really don't care about researching that game. I do genuinely want to do a video talking about how this military propaganda is cooler than this military propaganda, but today is not the day. Today, we are gamers. Also, today we're going to have to deal with some iffy footage because Insurgency doesn't like me having OBS open, so sometimes it looks like this, but other times it looks like this. Yeah, sorry. With my numerous hours of experience, I have shot and murdered numerous combatants in the name of my country. I've been to snowy hillsides, desert summits. I've hit the mic with my glasses. I've been to snowy hillsides, desert summits, and government buildings. I've fired pistols, rifles, shotguns, machine guns, submachine guns, rockets, and grenade launchers. I've worn the blood of my enemy so long that it is now impossible to wash it free from my skin. But this close acquaintance with the horrors of war bores me. The screams, the blood, the unending tinnitus, it no longer exhilarates me. Perhaps you too, a fellow Insurgency player, are unsure of how to remedy your addiction of maiming your fellow man. I present to you the Insurgency Sandstorm modding community. The Insurgency Sandstorm modding community, abbreviated to the ISMC, took the base game content from New World Interactive and made it something far more involving. New guns, new maps, new ways to scar this 18-year-old Middle Eastern enlistee for the rest of his life. Now any old schmo plays Versus.
You're a fucking cracker, shut the fuck up.
You got really mad for no reason. Yeah, you gotta stop watching Criminal Minds, buddy.
You gotta stop watching Criminal Minds, buddy.
He keeps repeating what I'm saying, like, holy shit.
I will give you the privilege of licking my
Real men, they play against the AI. For your viewing pleasure are 2 matches of ISMC co-op, both commentated and edited by the tactical genius that is myself. But before that, let's set the scene. The year is 2007. War. America. Capitalism. Russia? No, Middle East. Oh yeah, it's freedom time. Our good pal 100% fairly elected Mr. Al-Fazir needs America's help. They have a problem. A problem with guns. You see, our good friend Mr. Al-Fazir has been clashing against the Geneva Suggestion as of late, to the dismay of the average man. This, which we definitely did not have any involvement with whatsoever, has enraged the average man into becoming the average man, but with gun. An insurgency has swept the country of nameless Middle Eastern nation like a storm. Almost like a storm that carries sand. It is our job as the leading nation of the free world to go and aid our good friend Mr. Al-Fazir against this savage insurgency. Only out of the good of our hearts, of course. We are absolutely not being bribed with a fuck ton of oil Mr. Al-Fazir's country sits upon. Nope,
Nope.
This is a humanitarian response to a humanitarian crisis. This is the most recent victim of the military-industrial complex. A once intelligent architecture student destined for great success, now a 32-year-old Marine willing to die for his country so they can put a Happy Meal star on his body bag. He shall be working alongside a task force of other duped lads and lasses, all marching towards the fearsome insurgent threat. Our first mission? Operation Make the Safehouse unsafe. Our task force received word that an insurgent Safehouse, most likely stockpiling pesky medicine and food to distribute for free to those pesky women and children, is positioned on the coast of nameless Middle Eastern nation. Mr. Al-Fazir assures us that this is nothing more than an attack on the healthcare system, that stealing precious drugs will undermine their efforts to sell these totally not essential for living medicine at a very, very high price. This sounds an awful lot like communism, and oh no sir, that's no good. Our task force of patriots and heroes deploys to the south of the Safehouse complex. As we advance, our brave Marine utilizes the TSGB strategy. Throw smoke. Go broke. This strategy involves throwing copious amounts of smoke to cover our advance, making sure that any surviving combatants of the ensuing battle die to lung cancer, and then expending an unnecessary amount of ammunition and ordnance on single targets, enough so that the Department of Defense needs to pull more money from education and social welfare to fund our humanitarian efforts. But let's be real, education and social welfare are both code for socialism. It's a win-win. Armed with the C7A2 rifle and USP sidearm, our brave Marine helped to clear out and hold Alpha against a brutal enemy counterattack. You may be watching this footage and thinking, Smug, this seems a little bit brutal, perhaps even inhumane. Do not fret. Our brave Marine is sympathetic to the human condition and the sanctity of life, so will only kill when absolutely necessary. Our task force advanced to Bravo, fending off another savage counterattack effort from the enemy, before being notified of a stash of drugs being stored in a nearby pool house. Any rookie would think that this is a perfect time to take the medicine back for ourselves. But we aren't just any rookie. Mr. Alphazir has told us that these drugs are tainted with insurgent influence, socialist influence, and the only way to deal with them is to dispose of them properly. Sorry ma'am, your sickly child only has communism to blame. After purging Charlie of all communist influence, we advance to Delta. But whoa, wait a second. Our brave Marine is confronted with a tricky situation. To the average eye, this may seem like just a door. But to the trained soldier, this is a challenge. This house dares to stand in the face of American foreign policy. A house, most likely, acting as a refuge for communism. By method of association, this door, too, is an accomplice to the spread of free medicine, and whatever other ghastly ideas reside in that hellish domain. For that, this door must pay. And what better way to send the idea of welfare running than a kicked-in door? Hinges are not powerful enough to stop the military-industrial complex. As to be expected, the enemy counterattacks our newly seized foothold. Not to worry. Our democracy dispensers are here to help. A couple of bursts here and there, a few dead insurgents on the floor, and we are done. Or are we? It appears the enemy has managed to get behind us, and is now desecrating our newly seized stronghold. We must uproot this threat before more of the enemy arrive. Now it may seem that this man right here, weapon lowered and body language hesitant, was on the verge of surrender. But once again you have fallen victim to a rookie mistake. This is a dirty trick, and for such feigned innocence, the only punishment is death. Deceitful insurgent down and point secured, we push forwards to Echo. After a good lesson in adhering to the TSGB strategy, we forge a path ahead onto the new objective and secure it. We're informed of another cache of tainted medicine up ahead. No worries, if there's one thing Michael Bay taught us, it's that explosions are cool. With that threat to the free world dealt with, our brave Marine prepares to attack Gulf alongside... Oh, dear God, he's dead, isn't he? Yeah, hey, is he dead? Holy shit. Well, no worries. I'm sure the rest of the task force will push on to victory to ensure his death was not in vain. Ah, fuck.
Fucking shit, mate.
It appears that we were outsmarted and bested by a technologically outmatched enemy. Something that has most certainly never happened before in American history. Even the efforts of our dear squad leader, Dildo Dale, could not stand against the insurgency. Mr. Alphazir is not happy. But fear not, this fight is not over. We have received news of an insurgent cell forcefully seizing a coastal resort to house the sick and wounded. Mr. Alphazir informs us that his billionaire friends are extremely vulnerable to a massive decrease in their profits. Worry not, Mr. Alphazir. As Americans, we'd rather be dead than have a free bed. Our task force inserts into the combat zone, armed to the teeth and ready to engage. Adhering to the TSGB strategy, our soldiers push onto Alpha and secure it. It's time to learn an important lesson about reloading. In a deadly situation, you would assume that the best approach would be to conserve ammunition, firing only when absolutely necessary to ensure we are not left vulnerable. But it seems you have already forgotten the most important tenet of the TSGB strategy. Go broke. We do not have time for conserving ammo. We only have time to shoot, and hence, we should not have any ammo left in our magazine after an engagement. Real men dump the mag. Americans dump the mag. After an intense altercation at Alpha, we advance to Bravo, but not after a good morale boost for the boys. This before you is purely ethical, and is covered under the United States Rule of Engagement. If you see their back, your gun barrel must go crack. With Charlie taken care of, we move to Delta. Our brave Marine, not that one though, he's dead, advances into the building. Uh-oh. It appears our brave Marine is under heavy fire and is on the verge of panic. Do not fret, for the United States military has given our Marine thorough de-escalation training to ensure that any following bloodshed is absolutely necessary.
Get the fuck down! Shut up, fucking idiot! Fuck you! Eat my ass! Fuck off! Come here, motherfucker!
Humanitarian warfare aside, we secure Delta and prepare for a counterattack. As General Ulysses Grant once said, if the enemy is doing something cool, copy it. So our brave Marine scoops up a Molotov and fights fire with more hotter fire. Excellent results. With Delta secure, there's only one final position left to take. Our Marine forges a path ahead to Echo, taking out a gaggle of socialist hooligans before mounting the steps. Uh-oh. It appears our Marine is now up close and personal with the enemy. Let us take this rare opportunity to analyze the opposition. Now what catches your eye about this particular adversary? The heavy Kevlar vest? The Nike backpack? The armor-piercing rifle held in his cloth, trembling gloves? The look of terror in his eyes? That is what the rookie would see. A true operative would notice the color of his shirt and bandana. Red. What else is red? Communism, socialism, healthcare, baby bell. That look of fear in that man's eyes is nothing but a thin veil hiding the truth. He believes in the inalienable nature of human rights, and there is only one solution for this affront to the free world. You see? His blood is red. Good shot. Securing Echo, we enter the final stand. Victory. Our task force has done it. This coastal resort is once again back in the hands of the impoverished businessmen and designer custom suits. Mr. Alphazir is very impressed. This decisive victory will for sure deliver a brutal blow to the enemy's morale, and will 100% not radicalize the orphan children and wives of these countless dead men to participate in this ceaseless cycle of violence that armed intervention breeds no matter the intention. America has done it again. This is the true way to play Insurgency Sandstorm.